سيد الأنبياء. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما تعلمنا وزدنا بفضلك علما وتعليما إنك على كل شيء قدير. He says وقد ذكر الترمذي ها هنا تراجم طائفة من أعيان الحفاظ مختصرة، فنذكرهم ونذكر معهم طائفة ممن لم يسمه أيضا على وجه الاختصار إن شاء الله. So just a list of key حفاظ. منهم أبو زرعة. So this is not the Abu Zur'a. This is another. So Abu Zur'a is a famous hadith critic. This is somebody who's much earlier. He's of the Tabi'een. It's called واسمه Haram وقيل عبد الرحمن. Right. So often we don't know their names because they're only known through the kunya. Abu Zur'a. وقيل عمرو وجده جرير ibn Abdullah al-Bajali al-Kufi. So his grandfather is the Sahabi Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali. يروي عن جده جرير. So he narrates hadiths from his grandfather Jarir. وعن أبي هريرة وروى عنه إبراهيم النخعي وغيره. So Ibrahim al-Nakha'i is of the Sighar Tabi'in. And so Abu Zur'a is possibly of the Awsat, right? Like the second generation of the Tabi'in. قال ابن أبي خيثمة. So in his تاريخ, so this is تاريخ ابن أبي خيثمة. حدثنا أبي قال حدثنا جرير عن عمارة بن القعقع قال لي إبراهيم حدثني عن أبي زرعة فإني سألته عن حديث ثم سألته عنه بعد سنتين فما أخرم منه حرفا. Right, he said I asked Abu Zur'a about a hadith, and so he said go and narrate from him because he's reliable. Because why? I narrated from him فما أخرم, he didn't drop a single letter. It's exactly as it was supposed to be. وخرجه ابن عدي في الكامل عن الضعفاء. So this is Ibn Adi, the author of the Kamil in concerning weak narrators. عن الحسين بن يوسف الفربري عن أبي عيسى الترمذي عن أبي حميد كما خرجه الترمذي ها هنا. So he says there's another chain for the same quote as Tirmidhi quotes it. ومنهم سالم بن أبي الجعد واسم أبي الجعد رافع الأشجعي مولاهم. So he's مولاهم, meaning he's not actually a descendant of the tribe of al-Ashja', of the tribe of the Ashja'i tribe, but rather he's through being a freed slave of them. الكوفي وهو ثقة متفق على حديثه. So this is Abu al-Ja'd, Salim ibn Abu al-Ja'd. And he says, كلام منصور الذي خرجه الترمذي. It seems that there's a gap here. Seems there's a gap in the chain. Because it's a gap in the text and all that. Because it says here, it says who he is, and then it mentions, and the words of Mansur that Tirmidhi mentioned. He hasn't mentioned anything yet. So it seems like there's something missing in the text here. Okay, there's something missing in the text. He says, وكلام منصور الذي خرجه الترمذي وخرجه عدي عن الحسين بن يوسف عن الترمذي مع أن بعضهم تكلم في سالم بن عبد أبي الجعد. قال ابن جرير حدثنا ابن حميد حدثنا جرير عن المغيرة قال ثلاثة كانوا لا يعبؤون بحديثهم. Right, there were three people, they didn't used to care about their hadiths. فذكر أحدهم سالم بن أبي الجعد. So he mentions here specifically why did they like him or not like him? He says here in so ثقة كان يرسل كثيرا. He used to frequently not mention the full chain. من الثالثة. What does الثالثة mean? So الطبقة الأولى is صحابة. الطبقة الثانية is كبار التابعين. الثالثة أوساط التابعين. Right? Or do we add am I missing one of the طبقات? I'm missing the مخضرمين. Just give me 1 second. The طبقات. I'm missing the first one. الطبقات. طبقات of تهذيب التهذيب. I'm missing one here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so the first is the Sahaba, second is the old Tabi'een, who most of their hadith are from the Sahaba, and then there's the Awsat Tabi'een, 50-50, so they narrate from the Sahaba and they narrate from other Tabi'een. And then Tabaqa al-Rabi'a is Sigar Tabi'een. No, that's 5, sorry. And so then we have the fourth level, which is they generally narrate. They narrate from some of the Sahaba, but most of the hadith are from the Kibar Tabi'een. So that's 4. And then Sigar Tabi'een is they saw some of the Sahaba, like Sayyidina Abu Hanifa, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after that, you have 3. No, we have more. I'm going to paste them all here, inshallah, in the group. So we can see them all there, okay? So when he says من الثالثة الطبقة الثالثة, where's the ثالثة? الطبقة الوسطى من التابعين مثل حسن البصري وابن سيرين. So الطبقة الرابعة طبقة تليها يغلب روايتهم عن كبار التابعين مثل زهري وقتادة. So Qatada narrates from Anas, Zuhri narrates from Anas. But that's about it, right? Otherwise they narrate from Tabi'een. And then we have the طبقة الرابعة is صغار التابعين. And then طبقة السادسة is طبقة عاصرة الخامسة ولم يثبت لهم لقاء الصحابة مثل ابن جريج. And then we go on to الطبقة السابعة, which is old. So the older generation of the students of the Sahaba. So كبار أتباع التابعين, like Malik and Zuhri and Thawri, right? And then you have the next generation, Ibn Uyayna, Ibn Ulayya. And then the next generation, Yazid ibn Harun, Imam al-Shafi'i, the teachers of all the 6 books. And then you have the next generation, Imam Ahmad and that generation. And then you have the next generation, Bukhari and others, right? And then you have the generation after that, the students of Bukhari and others, like Tirmidhi and Nasa'i, etc. Right? So that's you can see there the 12 tabaqat. So he mentions the thalitha there, yeah. So I was confused. I was thinking they mentioned the mukhadaramin, but they didn't mention the mukhadaramin as that. Um, so he mentions that basically why did they like him? They didn't like him is because he wouldn't mention a chain without complete transmission, right? Without the complete chain. He would yursil, he would mention it without a chain, or mention just the Sahabi that narrates it. Wallahu a'lam. Okay. So that was one there, and it seems to be incomplete. Wallahu a'lam. ومنهم عبد الملك بن عمير. We've seen him before. We spoke about him. ويكنى أبا عمرو وهو ثقة متفق على حديثه. وسبق أن أحمد قال هو كثير الاضطراب، وقدم سماكا وعاصم بن أبي نجود عليه في الاضطراب، يعني أنه أكثر منهما اضطرابا. So Imam Ahmad said he was worse than Asim ibn Abi Najud, who's 50-50. قال أحمد حدثنا السفيان أي ابن عيينة. So Imam Ahmad studied with Sufyan ibn Uyayna. He did not study with Sufyan al-Thawri, right? He studied with Imam al-Shafi'i. He did not study with Imam Malik, right? So Imam Malik 171, Sufyan al-Thawri, Sufyan ibn Uyayna, Ibn Uyayna. Ibn Uyayna is later than that. Yeah, 198. Okay, 198. So he dies like 27 years after Imam Malik. Okay, so Imam Shafi studied with both, but Imam Ahmad didn't study with both. Imam Ahmad studied with Yahya, Sufyan al-Thawri. He did not study with Imam Malik, right? Let alone Sufyan al-Thawri. Okay, so this is Sufyan. When you see Imam Ahmad saying Sufyan, it means Sufyan ibn Uyayna. So he says, قال أحمد حدثنا سفيان قال سمعت عبد الملك بن عمير يقول والله إني لأحدث بحديث وما أدع منه حرفا خرج ابن عدي عن الحسن بن حسين عن الترمذي كما خرجه ها هنا. Right, so he says so he swore by Allah. Abdul Malik ibn Umayr, he swore by Allah, I know a hadith, I don't miss a single letter of it. قال ابن أبي حاتم حدثنا صالح بن أحمد قال حدثنا علي بن مديني قال سمعت عبد الرحمن بن مهدي يقول كان سفيان يعجب من حفظ عبد الملك. قال صالح قلت لأبي هو عبد الملك بن عمير؟ قال نعم. قال ابن أبي حاتم فذكرته لأبي قال هذا وهم إنما هو عبد الملك ابن أبي سليمان وعبد الملك ibn Umayr لم يوصف بالحفظ. He's not that amazing, right? So I believe he's a saduq, right? He's a saduq. He's not somebody who's a thiqah exactly. Wallahu a'lam. ومنهم قتادة بن دعامة السدوسي البصري. So he narrates from Anas in Basra. يكنى أبا الخطاب أحد الأئمة الأعلام الحفاظ الثقات المتفق على صحة حديثه وإليه المنتهى في الحفظ والإتقان. So totally amazing. Okay? Totally amazing, but he has some weird ideas. So very important. He's totally amazing in hadith, but he has some strange ideas in aqidah. قال أبو هلال عن غالب عن بكر بن عبد الله المزني من سره أن ينظر إلى أحفظ من أدركنا في زمانه وأجدر أن يؤدي الحديث كما سمعه فلينظر إلى قتادة ما رأيت الذي هو أحفظ منه ولا أحفظ منه ما رأيت الذي هو أحفظ منه ولا أجدر أن يؤدي الحديث كما سمعه. قال السعق بن حزم حدثنا زيد أبو عبد الواحد قال سمعت سعيد المسيب يقول ما أتاني عراقي أحفظ من قتادة. وروى عبد الرزاق عن معمر أن ابن سيرين قال في منام قص عليه فعبره قال قتادة أحفظ الناس. قال موسى بن إسماعيل حدثنا صاحب لنا عن مطر الوراق قال كان قتادة إذا سمع الحديث حفظه حفظا completely 100%. فإذا سمع الحديث أخذه العويل والزويل حتى يحفظه. He'd be busied with it. قال أحمد حدثنا عبد الرزاق عن معمر قال قتادة لسعيد خذ المصحف فعرض عليه سورة البقرة فلم يخطئ فيها حرفا واحدا قال أحكمت. Did I get it right؟ قال نعم. قال لأن لأنا I swear by Allah لأنا لصحيفة جابر بن عبد الله أحفظ مني لسورة البقرة. Right? I know the Sahifa al-Sadiqa of Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, I believe it's called. I've memorized his collection of hadith, the Sahifa of the scroll of Jabir. I know it better than Surah al-Baqarah. وكانت قرئت عليه وبهذا الإسناد عن قتادة قال ما قلت لأحد قط أعد علي. I never asked anybody to repeat something to me because I have amazing memory. وقال أبو داود الطيالسي ذكر سفيان لشعبة حديثا لقتادة فقال سفيان كان في الدنيا وكان في الدنيا مثل قتادة. Was there anybody like Qatada? Right? So that's all we hear there about Qatada. But let's read about his aqidah. Right? Let's read about his so let's look in تهذيب الكمال about Qatada ibn Da'ama as-Sadusi. This is very important. Qatada. So he's a very important in tafsir. He's huge. Qatada ibn Da'ama. Where is Qatada? Why can't I find him in the list here? Sadusi, let's find this. Sadusi. Fine, fine. Why can I not? It's odd. Why can't I find Qatada? The it's odd. I can't find him in تهذيب الكمال. Why can I not find him here? قتادة قتادة ابن دعامة. Okay, found him. So I'm just going to share this, and then I got to قتادة ابن دعامة ابن قتادة ابن عزير ابن عمرو. So he's in Ayn. He's all of the six books. He's really, really good. ابن ربيعة ابن عمرو بن حارث ابن سدوس يقال قتادة روى عن أنس. And that's it. He only narrated from for the Sahaba, only narrated from Anas. That's of the Sahaba because Anas lived for a long time. And it continues. And it just notes all the different people who he narrates from him. Keeps going. Keeps going. He's a powerhouse and writes many hadith. Keeps going. Keeps going. So just mentions just how amazing he is in memorization. The same kind of quotes that we're seeing here. Same quotes there. Da da da. Here you go. وقد كان قتادة يتهم بالقدر. He was accused of not believing in predestination. So he says قال علي مديني قلت ليحيى بن سعيد القطان إن عبد الرحمن ابن مهدي يقول اترك كل من كان رأسا في بدعة يدعو إليه. قال كيف تصنع بقتادة? What are you going to do about Qatada then? Right? He was a person of bid'ah, a person of strange beliefs. Um, okay, there's some things about his we're going to see again lots of quotes like that. So We just find it right at the end. It's going to talk about who did he not narrate from? So just very long and it's not super well organized. Talking about mistakes from him and hadiths that seem sound but they're not. Not interested in that. So when he was born, when he passed away, and I believe right at the end they're going to mention something. Wallahu a'lam. No, it does not mention. Now it's going to go to Qatada, somebody else. It doesn't mention much there. Let's have a look in Sirah Alam al-Nubala then, because it didn't mention much there. But you find a number of people. Let's look in Sirah Alam al-Nubala by Imam al-Dhahabi. See what he says. Mentions similar kind of things. Who narrates from him? There's Tadlis, we know about that. He says, نعم لا نقتدي به في بدعته وخطئه ونرجو له التوبة من ذلك. Right, so Imam al-Dhahabi says, yes, however, we do not follow him in his bid'ah in Aqidah. When you say bid'ah, I mean Aqidah issues and his mistake, and inshallah, we hope that he made tawbah from that. And he goes to similar quotes there. Okay, see if and I can't see anything here so far. Just mentioned it in the beginning. Here we have here, it says كنت أرى طاووسا إذا أتاه قتادة يفر, used to run away from him. قال وكان قتادة يتهم بالقدر. He used to be accused of not of believing in not believing predestination. Um, Here we go, look. So Waki' narrates from Sa'id ibn Abi Aruba wa Hisham al-Dastawai'i, right? These are huge thiqat, huge thiqat. وغيرهما and others يقولون قال قتادة. What did he say? كل شيء بقدر. Every single thing is predestination إلا المعاصي, apart from sins. So sins are not part of qada and qadar. That's hugely problematic, right? Hugely problematic. And then he says ما كان يصيح به صياحا. Mm, so very important point. So he says Yahya ibn Sa'id. So he said, don't bother with people of bid'ah. He says, in turika هذا الضرب ترك ناس كثيرا. If you were to not narrate from people of bid'ah, people of weird aqidah, you would not narrate from anybody. ثم قال da, 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 da. So this is very important. Give me 1 second. Um, let's see, anything else here? That's all I see. Wallahu a'lam. So anyway, that's a pretty sound chain of transmission, and that's a very strange problem. And it's a very important quote. If you were to leave, if you were not to narrate from people like that, you would leave a lot of people. What does that mean then? It means when it comes to hadith, we're interested in how reliable you are, and not what your where you come from and etc. Right? What sect you are, whether you're Shi'i, whether you're Qadari, whether you're whatever it is, that's not relevant. Right? And so he's a huge imam, even though he has those issues there. Wallahu alam. Inshallah, we'll stop there. Inshallah ta'ala. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi وصحبه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.